Well, good morning, everyone. It's My Life is Mikeyo, episode 4.5, The Coffee Clutch. Good morning to you, and welcome to a new day. It's a new day. Everyone's excited. Or you're grumpy and you're drinking coffee this morning to make you not so grumpy. I'll admit, I am pretty pooped today. Not quite sure why, but maybe it's because it's rainy out, and I started noticing over the last few years that when it rains, I'm starting to develop what I call old bone syndrome, where I feel a little crummier as it rains. It also could be a combination as well as the weather is getting nice. Flowers are starting to bud and the pollen and spit their pollen into the air or whatnot, and my allergies have started pretty quickly there. Hey, I may just enhance this just a little bit. Oh man, look at that! Hands free. It's like it's magic. You feel like it's magic? What to talk about today? And I don't have a clock to keep me on cue for about 10 minutes thing. So anyway, I guess we'll talk about yesterday. Yesterday, didn't do much. Went to Checkmate. Went to go work there for a little while. What I enjoy about working in the evenings at Checkmate is I feel like I get a little bit more stuff done, or I feel more at ease in the mornings because I don't go until like 2 o'clock ish or something like that versus 11:30 at Staples, and I feel like I get more done, or actually better yet, I feel like I get less done because I procrastinate all day. Because the majority of my day was seeing where my Super Trooper 2 Indiegogo perk kit hasn't arrived yet. It was sitting in Stowe, Ohio, which according to Google Maps is like a couple hours away, and I'm just like, that was on Friday, and I'm just like, hey, yo, should be here by Monday. Yes, I can get my trooper stash and my badges and such. We're donating a couple $100 to the movie, which I haven't seen it yet. I haven't had time. I'm hoping to go pretty soon, and probably maybe this Friday after I get out of work, I might go and see it because I got a free ticket. I should go see it, and that sort of thing. But at Checkmate, I've been doing a lot of inventorying of our Dice Master sets because we're getting ready to. At some point this year, we're going to be opening up our online shop so people around the world as well as local, if there's stuff that you want to purchase, you'll be able to go to our website and be able to get them, which is actually kind of neat and something that Ken and I, been kind of working on for a little bit. But we're going to start out with Dice Masters, which the more and more I handle these things, because I've been inventorying them for about a month now, and I work a couple of days a week, so it's pretty much every day counting, adding, looking, touching, feeling, smelling. I don't know. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to look up how to play this game because I'm probably going to be spending another few weeks because I'm about halfway done now with the whole process. Actually, maybe a little bit more than half. Inventorying stuff, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to play because it looks interesting. It deals with superheroes and building a team and stuff like that. What is it all about? The game itself is actually very simple. It looks complicated without any explanation. But the neat thing is that the creators of the game, at least if you get the big box sets like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the Age of Ultron sets, they come with little play mats, or you can go to their website, dicemasters.com, and actually just print off a mat. They're free, and it tells you like where you put your dice placement and stuff like that. But I guess the best way to explain it, it's a pressure luck. Nah, not pressure luck. It's a dice rolling resource thing. I don't know if that explains it, but everyone gets these little guys called sidekicks, and the sidekicks could either be if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's essentially almost all the sides on it are a different type of a resource, and that's how you buy stuff. And then you have like a 1 in 6 chance to roll. I think it's 1 in 6 for no, maybe 2 in 6 chance of actually rolling a sidekick, and then that can be like a little 1/1 guy that like blocks for a little bit or something like that. But you use the dice to buy like your superheroes, so you can like buy Deadpool, you can buy Captain America, and you can mash them up too. That's the same distributor as HeroClix. So if you're familiar with that, you can create this crazy team of heroes and fight each other off. Very similar to Magic and other trading card games, 20 life, or depending on what type of game you're playing, and so on and so forth. So I finally broke down, and actually I almost did it last week, and then Ken kind of talked me out of it for some reason. I don't know. I wanted to buy one of these starter sets because they're only like $20 for like 2 people to play, and so I ended up picking up the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one last night. I fortunately left it downstairs, and Randy's sleeping. I don't want to bother him. It's bad enough I'm talking. So I ended up picking it up, and the TMNT, and I'm imagining the Age of Ultron sets, which are like 25, are enough for like 4 people to play right out of box. And you can get these little booster packs that come with a card with a hero and 1 die with it, and they're only $1, and that's insane. Like, you could easily spend a lot very, very quickly without realizing it. So, because it's like $1, oh, I got $1. Oh, cool, I get 2 cards. So it has a very good collectible addiction potentially to it and whatnot. And so I wanted to get involved with it for one. Wanted to learn something new. The others, like, as I'm like handling these cards, some of these cards are like $40, and they still print these cards, you know, or some of them they still print. And I was just like, I was making fun of Charlie the other day that I work with because he has what I call the scratch and win Magic the Gathering addiction, where he'll buy a pack, and others do this too. They'll buy a pack and then they'll sell what they get out of the pack in hopes to get another pack out of that, and until they get something good and whatnot. And it was just weird. And I was just like, well, you know, there's a potential I could do this to, you know, find that one card, and you're like, oh, I don't necessarily need it. Like, oh, now I get all these packs or whatnot. And I don't know if that made any sense, folks, but hang on, let me do one of these guys. Good morning, everyone who's been here so far. I know Wes, Dustin, I don't know, and Jessica. Good morning to all of you. So then it started to, the whole thing kind of shifted into comics, just in general. And an unknown fact about Mikeyo is Mikeyo never got into comic books. Can you believe it? I know. I think the bulk is that I was a really slow reader, and I, to the point where I hated reading growing up, and so like people going to the comic book store to get comics didn't appeal to me because I was a little bit more into the cartoon stuff, and to be able to, you know, watch and listen to what is being done was more fascinating to me than actually reading like still pictures and seeing what's going on. And as time went on throughout my life, I, you know, more and more comics, different things came out, whatnot. It became lesser and lesser of a thing, to the point now where I'm not exactly sure where to start, because I said to myself the other day, because I write, and some of the stuff that I have written could potentially be turned into a comic book, because they do have some action and there's some funny stuff too. And so I was like, well, in order to write comic books, I have to read comic books. and get a good feel. So what I'm proposing to the world out there is that if there's any comic books that you think I should get into, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will add it to a list. And someday I'll go to the comic shop and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this," which I almost did yesterday, but I felt intimidated. I was just like, I went to order my J Cups pizza, and I was like, I was gonna wait, tap into JC and pick up some of these recommendations Charlie gave me, and I was just like, I don't know, I don't even know what to do. If they talk to me, I'm like, blah, I don't know. But let's see here. So Charlie gave me some recommendations of some stuff that has already been out, some things that are just starting and whatnot, and some recommendations on some things that or like how much of a series to read before the plot drops or something like that. And one of them he gave me was X-Men Red, the Amazing Spider-Man series. I think this one is new, Despicable Deadpool. I think he said that one they're up to like third issue or something like that, and Astonishing X-Men. So those are going to be some that I will hopefully potentially be reading soon. I won't be picking them up until Saturday at least a couple of them, and we'll kind of go from there. Yeah, and I want to actually purchase them, and instead of reading them online and flipping them through the book, because I want to know what it's like to read, just in general. I mean, English, right? No, to read a comic book from cover to cover, and I wanted to be able to feel what fans do when, like, the latest issue of what they've been reading finally comes out, and how that feels to you. And because I want to be able to experience that. So if I do end up getting into comic book writing, and I partner with someone, because I'm not going to draw it, that's for sure, that I want to know how fans feel about things, and just the experience. And who knows? I might actually I might actually get into this whole comic book thing and maybe pick up an issue once a week. Who knows? I'm just hoping they're not super expensive. So, but that's kind of about it for me today. I know it's kind of short and sweet. If you haven't checked out the main episode, there's a link up above my head here somewhere. And then if you don't necessarily see it right now, it'll be there momentarily once I stop the video. I hope you guys have a great day. Remember always to keep dreaming, always keep thinking, and always keep doing, because the moment you stop, it's when life slows down, and you got to keep on moving. All right? So everyone have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. And take care.